Hi everyone, in this video I will be designing a landing page for a restaurant. So this is the finished demo that I have designed. So we have a navigation and a slider. After that we have the about us section and then our menu section. After the menu section we have this feature section, and after the features we have the uh, team section, and after the team section we have this reviews section, and after the reviews we have this contact us or reservation, and after that we have this Instagram post section and a blog post and a footer. So in this video this will be a Figma design video, and in the upcoming video I will be converting this design into a Bootstrap 5 template. So without further any ado, let's dive into the video. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is to select a frame. Okay, so I'm gonna set the grid. So this will be 12 column. Gutter space is going to be 24 and margin 150. And I'm gonna reduce the opacity to, let's say, 5%. Okay, so I'm gonna design the navigation. So I'm gonna select the text and then I'm gonna type crispy. Okay, so I'm gonna change the font to Francis for the logo, and I'm gonna increase the font size to 32, and that's it for the logo. Okay, so then I'm gonna again click on the text and I'm gonna type home. So this will be the navigation link. Okay, and the font will be SP line sans. Fat is going to be medium. Okay, and the font size is going to be 16. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna select these two, and I'm gonna click on this and then click on auto layout, or you can use shortcut keys by shift A. So now this is auto layout, so I'm gonna duplicate this. So this will be about, this will be menu. I'm gonna duplicate by Control D, and this will be team reviews. So this will be reviews. This will be blog. Okay, so that's it for the navigations. So I'm gonna select this stick. I'm gonna drag it like this. Okay, so I'm gonna create a button. So I'm gonna make this auto layout. I'm gonna give top and bottom padding 14 pixel, left and right 28 pixel. The text will be order online. Okay, I'm gonna change the background color to this orange color. Yeah, this color, and the color for the text is going to be white. Okay, so I'm gonna select the button, text, and the logo. Okay, and I'm gonna create component, auto layout. Okay, so let's give this a width fixed. This will be 1440. Is it's going to cover the whole space, and space between these items is going to be auto. Left and right padding is going to be 150. Top and bottom is going to be 18, and I'm gonna give a fill color white. Okay, so I'm gonna change this dark, completely black color to this dark blue color. So this will be the dark color. Okay, so that's it for the navigation. So now I'm gonna design the hero section. Again, I'm gonna select a frame and then I'm gonna draw a frame like this. Okay, so I'm gonna change the background color for now to this dark color. Okay, and I'm gonna type welcome to Crispy. Okay, and the font weight is going to be bold. Font size is going to be 24. Oh, sorry, 20. And I'm gonna select this line and draw it like this. Change the color to white and give a height 2 pixel. Duplicate this, select this and auto layout. Space is going to be 18. Okay, then again I'm going to select the text and I'm going to type flavor felt. Okay, I'm going to increase the font size to I'm going to increase the size to 84. Okay, and I'm going to drag the button here. I'm going to select this auto layout and this will be in the center and space is going to be 32. Okay, looking great. And now I'm going to change the background to an image. So I'm going to select an image. So these are the images that I have used. So I'm going to select. So we have these two images. So I'm going to select the first one. And I'm going to put an overlay at the top. So I'm going to give opacity to 60%. Okay, and the overlay color will be this dark blue as well. So I'm going to reduce this to 60. Okay, great. So now I'm going to design the about us section. So I'm going to rename this to navbar and this will be hero. So this is the finished design. So let's see. So I forgot to add these slider navigation. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to hold control and then press P and I'm going to search for remix icon. So you can install this plugin by visiting to the Figma community. So I'm going to run this plugin and I'm going to search for the arrow. Oops, arrow. And I'm going to use this arrow. Okay, I'm going to drag it like this. I'm going to convert this to an auto layout. Set the width and height to fixed. Width is going to be 40. Height is going to be 60. And this will be in the center. Fill color is going to be white. And I'm going to reduce the opacity to something like this. Let's say 15. Yeah, 15. And color for the icon will be white. So I'm going to push this to the left side and vertically center. I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to flip this horizontally by holding shift and then pressing H, and this will be on the right side. Okay, looking great. So I'm going to design the about us. So for the about us, the first thing I'm going to do is to turn on the grid. I'm going to open an image, so you can go to the file, place image, or you can use the shortcut keys Control Shift and K. I'm going to select this image. I'm going to put the image right here. Okay, then I'm going to draw an ellipse like this. Okay, and I'm going to change the image. So I'm going to select this image I'm gonna give a stroke color white, and stroke will be 6, and I'm gonna give a effect drop shadow. Color is going to be 20. Okay, looking great, and this will be 15. So okay, so I'm gonna select these two images and I'm gonna convert this to a group. Okay, and I'm gonna type about us. Okay, font weight is going to be bold and font size is going to be 48. Color will be this dark blue color, and I'm gonna copy the text from the Lipsum website. So I'm gonna duplicate this, set the font size to 16, regular, and line height is going to be 160%, and the color is going to be this color, and I'm gonna paste the text right here. I'm gonna set the width to, let's say, 400. Okay, so here I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, so this will be the description. So I'm gonna select these two, and I'm gonna drag the button as here as well. So this will be call to action button. I'm gonna rename the text to our menu or something like this. So I'm gonna select the button, select the text and the title, Shift A. Okay, the space is going to be 24. Okay, I'm gonna select these two, auto layout. Okay, top and bottom padding is going to be 120 and the width is going to be fixed. Okay, so I'm gonna push this to the top and I'm gonna give a padding left 150 pixel. Okay, so as you can see, which is 150 from the left side. Okay, so this is the about. So I'm going to increase the height for the main frame. Now I'm going to design the hero section. So for the heroes, sorry, not hero section, I mean the our menu section. So I'm going to duplicate the text. I'm going to remove the button. I'm going to remove some of the text. Okay, center, and this will be in the center as well. Okay, so this will gonna fill container and this will be fill container as well. So I'm gonna increase the width, thing like this. I'm gonna remove some text. Okay, and the space between the text and the title is going to be 16. Okay, looking great. So I'm gonna design the menu item. So for that, I'm gonna place an image. So I'm gonna select this image. I'm gonna place it right here. So I want the menu item to cover 3 column space. So I'm gonna hold shift and then reduce the width. Okay, so I'm gonna design the menu item. So I'm gonna put stars for the rating. So I'm gonna search for stars. I'm gonna select this one. Again, I'm gonna run this plugin and I'm gonna search for star as well. Once again, I'm gonna select this one. Okay, so I'm gonna select these two stars, shift A. Okay, I'm gonna drag inside this main frame and this will be horizontally. Okay, so I'm gonna select these two and I'm gonna reduce, I'm gonna reduce the size to, let's say, 18. Okay, and change the color to this brand color. I'm gonna select this star. I'm gonna hit Control D. Okay, and then I'm gonna type rate it, let's say 5.4. I'm gonna select these to auto layout. Okay, and the color will be this body color, so I want this to be at the start. Okay, so then I'm gonna put a title, so I'm gonna type menu item title. Okay, so let's remove the line height. I'm gonna type auto and give a font weight bold. Color is going to be this dark color. Okay, so I'm gonna select the text, drag it like this, and I'm gonna reduce the width something like this. Font is going to be font size 14 pixel. Okay, so I'm gonna select these and I'm gonna convert this into an auto layout. Space is going to be 12 pixel. Okay, and width is going to be like this. I'm going to select the image and the text auto layout. Okay, I'm going to select this and click fill container. So this menu item is going to be fixed. I'm going to select this frame, select the menu title and the text and set this to fill container. Alignment will be on the left. Okay, so I'm going to select this. Let's give a fill color white and I'm gonna give a padding left and right, let's say 24 and 24 to the top. Okay, looking great. So I'm gonna rename this to menu item, and that's it for the menu item. So I'm gonna duplicate this and now I'm gonna hit Control D. I'm gonna change image for this one. This will be menu item 2. Select the image and change this to menu item 3, and for this one will be menu item 4. Okay, so now I'm gonna select these menu items. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this like this. Okay, I'm gonna select these and adjust the spacing is going to be 32, left and right 24. So you can swap these like this. Awesome. So these will be like so I'm gonna put a filter buttons. So I'm gonna type here all. Okay, font weight is going to be medium, 16. Let's just go. So I'm gonna select this and convert this into an auto layout. Padding is going to be from the top and bottom, let's say 10, and left and right 22. So this will be the active button. Okay, the color will be white, and I'm gonna give a border radius 200. It's like this. So I'm gonna duplicate this button. Oops. Duplicate by Alt and dragging to the right side. This will be, so let's see, we have these buttons, breakfast, dinner. So this will be breakfast. Color will be this color, and fill color is going to be white color, and I'm gonna give a box shadow or drop shadow, and I'm gonna increase the blur to something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. This will be lunch. And I'm going to duplicate this one more time. This will be dinner. Okay, so I'm going to select these auto layout. So make sure this is in the center. Okay, so I'm going to select these menu items. I'm going to convert this into a group and select this and this. I'm going to set this to an auto layout. Okay, top and bottom padding is going to be 120. Width is going to be fixed. It's going to be 1440. Okay, and I'm gonna give a fill color a light color, which is not gonna be completely white, but something like this. Okay, great. Width is going to be 1440. Space between these is going to be 0. So I'm gonna increase the height for the main frame. Okay, looking great. Now I'm gonna design this section, feature section. So for that, I'm gonna copy this intro text. Oops. I'm gonna double click on this text. This will be Y2 chooses. Okay. This will be in the center, and I'm gonna wrap this inside a frame for now. Okay. Give a fill color dark color. This will be white, and I'm gonna change this to white as well, but I'm gonna reduce the opacity to 75. Okay, and I'm gonna run remix icon plugin, and I'm gonna put some icon. So the first one will be, say, user. So I'm gonna select this one, and then I'm gonna run the plugin again, and this time I'm gonna search for let's say time, and select this one. I'm gonna search for star, and this time I'm gonna search for the Wi-Fi icon. Okay, so I'm gonna select all these icons. I'm gonna push inside this frame. Font size is going to be 32. Okay, and the fill color is going to be white. Okay, so I'm gonna select this icon. Okay, and I'm gonna convert this into an auto layout by Shift A. I'm gonna give width and height fixed 64. Okay, this will be in the center, and I'm gonna give a fill color brand color. So I'm gonna type heading. This will be free Wi-Fi. Okay, font is going to be bold, and it's going to be 20. Okay, I'm gonna copy the text, drag it here. Width is going to be 264. Okay, I'm gonna reduce some of the text. Okay, so I'm gonna select the text, auto layout, space is going to be 12. I'm going to select this and I'm going to convert this to an auto layout. Okay, 34 is looking fine, and the width for this is going to be fixed. Okay, I'm going to select the text. This will be fill container, and the heading and the paragraph text will be fill container as well. So now I'm going to select this, give it a stroke color white, and reduce the opacity to, let's say, 15, and increase the height to 2 pixels. And now I'm going to give a padding. From the top is going to be, let's say, 44. Left is going to be 24. Looking great. So now I'm going to duplicate this. Oops, I'm going to duplicate this. Control D. Okay, so I'm going to select an icon. I'm going to drag an icon inside this. Remove this. Remove that icon, and I'm going to select this. Inside this, I'm going to place it right there. Okay, so I'm going to select this frame, and I'm going to change the fill color to an image, and I'm going to select the cover too. Okay, and I'm going to put an overlay. Okay, and let me increase the overlay to something like 70. Okay, and I'm going to select this frame, Shift A. Oops. So before converting this to an auto layout, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this, Shift A. Space between these items is going to be 24. I'm going to select convert this into an auto layout. The space between the title is going to be 40 and the content, so 40. Okay, so here I'm gonna give 40 as well, so I forgot to add that. And the width is going to be fixed, which is going to be 1440. Okay, and top and bottom padding 120. Select these two, the space is going to be 0 between the sections. Okay, looking great. So I'm gonna rename this to features. This will be menu, and let's increase the height for this frame as well. Okay, so after that I'm gonna design the theme section. So for that I'm gonna drag this intro title here, mate or shifts. Okay, and let's turn on the grid. I'm going to select an image. It's going to be this one. Okay, so I'm going to hold control and then reduce the width and height. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate this again by Control D, and I'm going to select the first one, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click on the fill. It's going to be this color, and let's give a border radius to, let's say, 100,000, and I'm going to hold shift and then pressing the left arrow and then top. Okay, then I'm going to select these and I'm going to convert this to a group. Okay, so here I'm going to type the name of this person. Okay, and the font is going to be 20. color is going to be this dark color, and this person is okay. The font will be regular and 16 body color. I'm gonna select these two, auto layout, set the space to let's say 4. I'm gonna select this auto layout. Okay, space is going to be 24. I'm gonna drag it like this. I'm gonna give a top and bottom fading, let's say 24. I'm gonna give a stroke color 2 pixel, and I'm gonna reduce the opacity to something like this. Okay, so this will be the normal state. So I'm gonna rename this to team member, and I'm gonna duplicate. Before duplicate, I'm gonna give a background color white. So I'm gonna duplicate this, duplicate and duplicate. I'm gonna give, so this will be the normal state, and when someone hovers on these, so I'm gonna give fill color to white. Okay, and I'm gonna give box shadow, color is going to be 20, it's going to be 15. Okay, so I'm gonna change the image. So I'm gonna select the image, choose image, and this will be 2. This will be this image. Okay, so I'm gonna select these team members and shift A, and then I'm gonna convert this into an auto layout. Space between is going to be 40, top and bottom is going to be 120, and the width is going to be fixed. Okay, I'm gonna select this. Space between the section is going to be 0. So I'm gonna rename this to team. Okay, so let's design this review section. So for that, I'm gonna select this intro section first. I'm gonna drag here. Okay, and I'm gonna rename the title to okay, and then I'm gonna copy this text from the left website, and I'm gonna duplicate this text. I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, and I'm gonna put a quote icon at the top of the description text. So I'm gonna search for remix icon, and now I'm gonna search for quote. Okay, so I'm gonna select this, increase the font size to 74, and change the color to this brand color, and drag it like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna type, I'm gonna select a rectangle, draw it like this, 75, and I'm gonna change the image. Okay, so I'm gonna select this image, first one. Okay, and here I'm gonna type this person name. Okay, let's set this to bold and auto. It's going to be 20. So I'm gonna put the stars that we have already here. So I'm gonna copy the stars, copy it, and I'm gonna paste it right here. auto layout, again auto layout, space is going to be 16. Okay, so I'm going to select this and this auto layout, and the space is going to be 24. Okay, 24, and I'm going to increase the space from the top to, let's say, 24. Okay, looking great. And I'm going to set the width to fixed, and the text is going to be fill container, so as you can see, and I'm gonna give a fill color white. Okay, so I'm gonna select these, wrap this inside of, oops, select a frame, wrap this inside this content inside a frame. So I'm gonna change the fill color star color for now. Select the title text and change that to white color. Select this one, make it white, reduce the opacity to 75. Select this one, make sure it is in the center, padding 24 and 24. Okay, then I'm gonna put slider dots, so this will be our slider, white, and I'm going to duplicate this one more time, reduce the opacity to 75. So these will be the slider navigation. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy the these slider navigation. So I'm gonna copy it, and here I'm gonna paste it. Okay, so I'm gonna drag it like this. I'm gonna duplicate, flip horizontally. Okay, and I'm gonna put it right here. This one will be here. So now I'm gonna select the review, this nav, and I'm gonna convert this into an auto layout. Okay, so I'm gonna give a fixed width 1140, which is the width of the container, and the space is going to be auto. Okay, so I'm gonna select this frame, auto layout, space is going to be 120. Okay, I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna put an image here, so I'm gonna click on the image, and I'm gonna select cover 2. I'm gonna put an overlay here, so I'm gonna click on this. Let's set this to 70. Okay, so adjust the space in between these items is going to be 40. Okay, looking great. So I'm gonna rename this to menu. Testimonials. Okay, great. So now I'm gonna design this reservation. So for that, I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna type reservation. I'm gonna create a form here. So for that, I'm gonna select a frame, draw it like this. I'm gonna copy the text and drag inside this input frame. which is going to be for the input, and I'm going to rename the text to, let's say we have full name, email address. I'm going to type full name. Okay, remove the line height, click on this arrow, and I'm going to select this frame and convert this into an auto layout. And so let me just hit the button. So we will give the height as equal to this button to the input field. So copy it, and I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, so the height is 47, so I'm gonna give a fixed height 47. Okay, the content is going to be in the center, and left and right fading is going to be 16. I'm gonna increase the width, or just like this. I'm gonna give a stroke color, reduce the stroke to something like this. So this will be for the full name. This will be email address. Okay, phone number, location. So I'm gonna copy these two. I'm gonna type phone number, location. I'm going to duplicate these two once again, and this time I'm going to type date and time. Date, time, and message. So I'm going to duplicate this, so this will cover, oops, I'm going to duplicate this, increase the width, something like this. This will be for the image. Okay, and I'm going to type here message. I'm going to select these. Okay, the space is going to be 16 and 16. So I'm going to select these. Okay, group, and here I'm going to place the button right here. Okay, 16. So I'm going to select these and convert this into an auto layout. Space is going to be 40, and width is going to be 1440. Top and bottom padding 120. So I'm going to move this to the top a little bit, and this will be reservation. Okay, so now I'm going to design this Instagram post sections. So I'm going to open an image. I'm going to select this one. So I'm going to put 4 items on this row. So I'm going to type 1440 divide by 4. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this, and here I'm going to put an overlay, or I'm going to select this image, click on this plus icon. Okay, and then I'm gonna search for remix icon. Inside this plugin, I'm going to search for Instagram. I'm going to select this icon, drag it here, auto layout, and set the width and height to fixed, 74 by 74, center, fill color white, and the icon color is going to be this dark color. Oops. Selection color is going to be the dark color. I'm going to increase the size to 34. So let's set this to in the center. Looking great. So I'm going to select the image, Instagram post, oops, this one, and this one, group. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, so I'm going to change the image for this one. This will be third, this will be fourth, and this will be the last image. This one. Okay, so I'm going to select this auto layout. Okay, space is going to be 0 and the width is going to be fixed. So I'm going to rename this to set the space to 0. I'm going to design the footer section, not footer, the blog section. So I'm going to select the text, the intro text, drag it here. I'm going to zoom it a bit. So I'm going to turn on the grid, select a rectangle, draw it like this. Okay, and here I'm going to type, so I'm going to duplicate this, select this, left alignment, and I'm going to reduce the space size to 20. Okay, select this and the content will be on the left side. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce the space to, let's say, 12. Font size 14, and I'm gonna reduce some of the font size, sorry, the text, and I'm gonna duplicate this. This will be posted on 23 December 2022. Okay, and here I'm gonna duplicate this. This will be read more. Font size is going to be 14. Okay, I'm gonna reduce the space between these. Okay, so let's select this, and auto layout width is going to be fixed. Select this and set the width to fill container. This will be fill container as well. I'm gonna give a fill container, sorry, the background color white, and I'm gonna give a box shadow to this as well. Let's give a 30 from the top. 10 pixel, blur is going to be 14. Okay, so I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna select an image for the blog post. So I'm gonna select this image. Okay, so let's, yeah, it is looking good, I think. Yep. So I think I'm gonna increase the height for this. So as you can see, I'm increasing the height. The image should also be increasing. So I'm gonna select the image and set this to fill container. So as you can see, when I increase the height, the image is also increasing, looking great. Yeah, something like this. So I'm going to rename this to blog post. Okay, so that's it for the blog post. Duplicate this. Okay, change the image. Okay, duplicate this. Change the image. I'm gonna select this image, select duplicate, and I'm gonna change the image. So this will be the blog post title. Blog post title. And now I'm gonna design the footer. So let's design the footer section. Okay, so yeah, I've done a mistake there. So the blog post should cover 6 column space. So it is now covering 5 columns. So let's increase the width to 6 column, which is 558. 558. Okay, so I'm gonna select these blog post, adjust the spacing 24 and 24. Okay, so I'm gonna drag a button. The text will be send message. I'm gonna copy the button, and here I'm gonna paste the button. The button text will be load more. Okay, select the button, Control G group. So I'm gonna select the button group and auto layout. Space is going to be 40, fixed width, and this is going to be 1440, padding 120 top bottom. Okay, looking cool. So now I'm going to design the footer section. This will be block. Increase the size. Okay, so let's put a dark background for now. Okay, so I'm going to change the color to this dark color for now. And I'm going to copy the logo from the navigation. Okay, so I'm going to select this text, copy it, and I'm going to put it right here. Okay, and the color will be white. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this paragraph text. Okay, set the font color white, reduce the opacity 75. Okay, and I'm gonna put a social icon below the paragraph. So I'm gonna search for Twitter, and YouTube. Search for Google. Okay, so I think this is enough. So I'm gonna select these icons, Shift A, and I'm gonna drag inside this frame. This will be horizontally, and the color will be white. Space between these icon is going to be 4 or 8. Okay, select these icons, select this and auto layout. Okay, 18 pixel. Okay, looking cool. And here I'm gonna put contact us and opening hours. So I'm gonna type contact us. Text will be uppercase. This will be 16. I'm gonna duplicate this. Here I'm gonna type phone number. So I'm gonna type a random number. Okay. And a random email address. You can use a plugin called content to reel. Okay, so for the email, so I'm going to click on the text and I'm going to click on the text. I'm going to put an email address here. Okay, text will be lowercase. This will be lowercase. And type E. So it is for the email and one for the address. So I'm going to select this text, run content reel plugin, and again click on the text and then search for address. Okay, so I'm going to select this P for the address. Okay, I'm going to select these. Space is going to be 16. I'm going to select this. Space is going to be 18. So let me reduce the space between these to something like 12. And the last one will be opening hours. So I'm going to duplicate this. This will be so I'm going to type Monday to Friday. From this time to this time. So I'm going to remove this one. Select this and set this to lowercase. I'm going to duplicate and I'm going to remove this one, and this will be Saturday to Sunday. Okay, so I think that's it. So I'm going to select these to auto layout. Okay, so let's adjust the spacing. Oops. Select these to auto layout. Just the spacing, something like this. Okay. Select this auto layout. Okay, and set the width to 1140, which is the width for our container. Okay, and the space is going to be auto. Okay, so I'm gonna put copyright text here. So I'm gonna type copyright text goes here. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate this. This will be for the, so let me just put an extra information like designed by someone. Okay, and I'm going to select these two. This will be like the footer bottom. Width is going to be 1140 and the space is going to be auto between these items. Okay, so I'm going to select this footer. Okay, Shift A auto layout. Oops. Okay, this should be inside this frame. Okay, so now I'm gonna convert this into an auto layout. Set the width to 1440. Okay, from the left side 150 and right side as well, and the padding is going to be, let's say, 120. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a line between the footer top and bottom. Set this to fill container and I'm gonna give a white color, reduce the opacity. Okay, I'm gonna select this. Okay, change the image and select cover 2. Okay, put an overlay. Let's select this. Okay, so as you can see the spacing is too much on the bottom, so I'm going to select the footer, select this and reduce the spacing to, let's say, 60, and the space is 60 is looking fine. So I'm going to rename this to footer. So I'm going to select this and adjust the spacing between these different sections. So I have selected all these and then click on these. So the space is going to be 0 and which is now 0. Click on the desktop, set this like this. Okay, so let's preview this design. So I'm going to click on the desktop and then click on this play button. Okay, so I'm going to select this and set this to fit width. Okay, so let's see the space between the hero section and the navigation. Set this to 0. Yeah, so let's see now. Looking great. Okay guys, so that's it for this video, and in the next video I will be converting this design to a Bootstrap 5 template. So make sure to watch that video if you want to see how to convert such kind of design into a Bootstrap template. So thank you for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video.